So you're an older, successful guy, you made some money, became well established and respected in your career. You're probably even in decent shape as well if you're super advanced. But when it comes to your dating and relationships, you can't replicate that same level of success. This is extremely common, but also extremely dangerous, because now that you're a successful man, you've built up a life for yourself and those around you, you are vulnerable. If you let the wrong woman or relationship into this new life that you've built, she can tear your life down. Congratulations. All of your money and success has not only not solved your dating problems, but it's in fact exposed you to even more risk when it comes to dating. Now, if you're a smart guy, you realize this and you understand that you better get your act together fast. But because you're a man who values your time, you don't want to waste a ton of time starting from scratch and making all the mistakes on your own, because you don't want to burn a bunch of years in wasted relationships or exposing yourself to unnecessary risk with the women in your life because you just don't know better. So you're here watching a YouTube video on how to date as a successful man. So strap in, because we've got a lot of work to do and we have a lot of time to make up for it. Treat your dating life like a business. Most guys treat their dating lives like an amateur. They have a bunch of subpar pictures, write a corny one-liner bio, and swipe away and wonder, why am I not getting results? Why do girls swipe on me? Why am I not getting matches? Finding a partner you want to spend your life with, or even just a partner you want to spend part of your life with, is one of the most important decisions you can make as a man. Relationships are the most important aspect of your life. Your career, your fitness, all of these things require conscious effort and investment in order to succeed and get a positive, desirable outcome. Why would you expect your relationships to be any different? Why do you believe you can put no work in and still get epic results? If somebody told you they were going to get rich, yet they never put in the work, never learned about money, and they didn't have a job, you'd think they're an idiot. You'd think, of course you're never going to get rich. Yet guys do this same sort of thing and emulate this same thinking in their relationships all the time. Relationships are not like the Disney movies where you can just do nothing and a 10 out of 10 is going to just magically fall into your lap. You got to get out there and make it happen. And you need to ask yourself, honestly, does a high quality woman want to be with a man who waits around for luck and circumstance to bring good fortune into his life? Or does she want a man who makes good fortune happen and takes action towards what he wants? This sense of entitlement is extremely dangerous because it keeps you stuck in the same place. You feel like you deserve better, yet you're not actually doing anything to deserve better. As a man, there are no free handouts. You have to go out and get everything on your own. And fundamentally, you understand this. However, because of the societal programming around dating, where people think the right one will just come along when the time is right and you don't have to do anything, people allow this stupid, polluted nonsense into their dating lives, and it's why they don't make any progress in their relationships. If you want to be the kind of guy who crushes it in your relationships, then you have to be the kind of guy who makes the effort in your relationships. You have to make it a priority to properly invest in it with your time, with your effort, and your attention. And I know you're a successful guy, you don't want to spend too much time on it, but what you fail to realize is that because you've already gone and gained success in other areas of your life, that means you're a competent guy. It means that this theoretically should be easier for you because you already understand the skill of learning. You already know how to succeed, and learning how to succeed in general is its own meta skill. So you need to apply those same tactics, those same learnings that made you successful in other areas of your life, and apply it to this area of your life. However, what you have to be careful of is that sometimes the things that made you successful in your business or in your career are not always going to be the same things that make you successful in your dating life. Because in dating, you have to take lots of risks. You have to expose yourself to lots of rejection. You have to be a lot more emotional and be in tune and understanding of what you want and how your emotions are coming up inside of you, so that you can interact with another person and so that your emotions can be on the same wavelength. I know it sounds a little bit woo-woo and out there, but this is what it is to build an emotional relationship, an emotional connection with a woman, because at its core, that's what it's about. And that's why there's so much miscommunication between men and women. Men fundamentally operate and communicate in a logical manner, while women fundamentally communicate and operate in a more emotional manner. Neither one is better than the other, they're just different, so you have to understand how to speak a woman's language. Just be normal. You may think I'm being facetious or that there's something extra that I'm going to explain to you here for this tip, but literally just showing up, being normal, not being a weirdo, being comfortable in your own skin, understanding your own core set of values that you operate from and holding true to them. If you do those things and you just act normal around a girl, maybe crack a joke here and there, you'll make most girls like you because you're already a successful and high value man. You already have the substance and the character traits that are desirable. Now, all you have to do is show up and be normal. Don't fuck it up. The thing that no one tells you about dating, that it's more so about not making mistakes. Dating is not something where you have to do lots of special ninja tricks and tactics in order to convince a girl or trick a girl into liking you. No, dating is an emotional thing, and guys have so many limiting beliefs. Guys have lots of insecurities and unresolved feelings from years of bad experiences with women that they project into every new interaction with a woman. And this is detrimental and toxic because it prevents you from just being normal and being able to showcase who you are and what your values are as a man. So if you can remove all of the mistakes that you're making, then a lot of times that's going to allow the time and space for your high value character, for who you are as a man, to shine. And that's going to do a lot of the speaking for you. That's going to be compelling enough to the woman. And again, you don't have to just take my word for it. The average man is more unimpressive than ever. He's overweight, doesn't make a lot of money, he has no social skills because he's on TikTok all day, and because people don't conversate in the real world anymore. People are all glued to their phones. You don't need to be Mr. Personality. You don't need to be super charismatic. You just have to be normal and be a high value man with substance. And if you combine those two things, that will solve most of your dating problems for you. However, because men are afraid of rejection, men don't understand how to just be normal around a woman. They always feel like they have to do something to be worthy of the types of women they want. They start adding things in. They start operating from a place of fear. You put a hot girl in front of the average man and they start to think, fuck, I can't mess this up. This is my only opportunity. Why is this your only opportunity? It's because you don't have a consistent way of bringing women into your life. And this is the biggest problem that successful men have. They're time poor. You don't have a lot of time. You don't want to waste hours and hours in a nightclub, staying up till 4 a.m., fucking up your whole routine, getting drunk and hungover, only to come back solo and without any girls. So what you need to do is find a consistent way to generate interactions and generate new women into your life. Now, there's typically 3 ways you can do this, and which one you decide to do is really up to you, what you're looking for and what you value as a person and what's going to fit into your lifestyle. There's dating apps, which I recommend for everyone, regardless of if you've had bad experiences in the past. It is worth figuring out how to get good on dating apps. It's worth getting new photos, it's worth getting new bios, new prompts, etc. because dating apps are scalable. They require the least amount of time for the results you get. You can be working on your business all day, swipe a couple minutes at night, have a couple conversations at once. Every single night, you set aside 20-30 minutes to just be messaging a couple girls, set some dates up from the matches that poured in during the day while you were working, and come Friday, you can have 2 or 3 dates lined up. Your dating apps are doing a lot of the hard work for you. Your dating apps are shopping you around. If you know how to stand out on the algorithm, then the app is going to do the work of showing your profile and building matches and building interest for you. The second way you can meet women is through Instagram. It's the same exact concept as a dating app. However, through Instagram, it allows you to tap into your existing social circle of women that you already know, but also it allows you to locate and find new women to bring into your life. It's also a great way to manage all the different women in your life. Let's say you meet a girl out at the club. You approach her. Instead of getting her number, you get her Instagram, so this way you can build a little bit more interest. Following up with her is more organic through stories, etc., rather than having to text individual girls at once. You can manage all of the girls in your life through your Instagram profile. And even if you're on dating apps, when it's time to get these girls out on dates, sometimes they'll be like, hey, you're a stranger. I don't really know you. How are you going to make them feel comfortable enough to go out on a date with you? You just share your Instagram profile. So the Instagram is an important piece of this entire thing. And as a high value man, you have the resources to show off your epic life. You've already done the hard work of building a lifestyle that a woman would love to be a part of. So why aren't you showcasing it with your Instagram profile? The third piece of this is cold approach, or meeting women in your day-to-day interactions or in person. A lot of guys say, oh, I don't have time to go spend 4 hours at the mall approaching women. And I totally get that. It's not feasible to spend that amount of time, but you don't need to spend that amount of time. If you really think about it, you see attractive women in your day-to-day life all the time. If you go to the coffee shop, you go to the gym, you go to the mall, learning and having the skills to be able to approach and attract the women that you're seeing in your day-to-day life anyways, it's huge because it doesn't require any extra time. You're already at the gym, you're already online at Starbucks, you're already at the mall. Why not just approach the girl that's right in front of you? It is the simplest and easiest way to bring more women into your life. And again, because the average social IQ is lower than ever, you don't really need to be that good. You're already a high value guy. She'll see it and sense it in your presence. As long as you're comfortable in your core and with who you are as a man, and if you can go up and just be normal, chances are she'll give you her Instagram. That's not going to be a problem. And then you just implement some good text scheme and boom, you get her out on a date. If you're the type of guy who likes to go out once or twice a week with your friends, you like going to a bar, you like going to a nightclub, this is a perfect time to meet women as well, because lots of women go out to bars and nightclubs with the intention of meeting somebody, putting themselves out there. It's the modern day mating ritual. So if you're going to be out there with your friends anyways, what the fuck are you doing getting drunk with your friends and dicking around and not approaching women? What's the point of that? You could do that at home. Why not take advantage of the opportunities in front of you? You have no idea how many guys I've talked to who've come through my coaching programs, who have come to me for coaching, and they come to me and say, yeah, I feel like I'm not really meeting lots of girls. And I ask them, okay, how often are you going out? Oh, I go out probably Friday, Saturday with my friends. I go to a bar or club. Okay, interesting. How many women do you approach on average per night? Usually none, maybe one or two. What the fuck are you going to a club and getting drunk for? If you're gonna do that, at least make some use of it. When I hear that, it's almost laughable. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Going to a club, going to a bar, staying up late, ruining your routine, going out and getting drunk. If you're not even gonna talk to a girl, if you're not even gonna get the main benefit of going out, you can kick it with your friends at home, at a restaurant, in a more civilized place. Why are you gonna go to a loud place, people are pushing into you, it's crowded, etc., and not talk to women? What's the point of that? And this is emblematic of what I was talking about earlier. Guys are full of excuses, fear, insecurities, and all this defunct mental programming inside of them that stops them from doing the obvious thing of just fucking approaching the girl. It's the same reason why guys struggle with dating. They can't go up and just be normal to a girl. Their body gets infected with nerves, with fear, and it's because they've never worked through all of these fears and all of the limiters that come up inside them when it comes to women. It's the same mechanism at work that's holding you back, and it's the same mechanism that you need to eradicate from your life, because the faster you eradicate it, the faster you can start getting success with women. Hey, real quick, if you're struggling with dating and you want to save yourself the time and headache of learning this all by yourself, and you want to guarantee that you can get on 1 to 3 dates per week in the next 30 days almost on autopilot, then apply to work with me and my team, where we will build your dating profiles for you, hand you the best text messages to get women out on dates, show you exactly how to approach them, and show you how to get on first dates, what to say on first dates, so that you can actually build relationships. Me and my team will coach you through the entire process and just hand you our copy-paste tested blueprint that is going to get you out on more dates in less time. So if that's interesting to you, just click the link in the description and apply to work with me and my team. Now, back to the video. The I don't have time excuse. The trap that successful men fall into is that they're already on an upward trajectory. They have so much momentum that they're building in their career, in their business, financially, and they use this momentum and this trajectory as an excuse to never pursue their goals in their relationships, in their dating life. They think that, oh, well, right now things are going really well in my business. I need to keep that going. I need all my attention there. I'm not going to focus on dating. That makes sense, and that's okay for a certain period of time. However, if you do have the goals, if you do have the ambition to start a family one day, to bring a woman into your life to share your epic life with, then you're gonna need to make time for it at one point. And although you always wanna make sure that your mission comes first, if you never make time for your dating life, you're essentially never making time for your goals. This excuse that I don't have time is never ending and will only steal years away from your life. I talk to a lot of guys who come to me for coaching. They're in their late 20s, early 30s, late 30s, sometimes even in their 40s, and they say to me, I've put this area of my life off for so long. I've focused on my career. I thought that was going to be enough. I thought that was going to solve this problem for me, and unfortunately, that's not the case. And their biggest regret is that they didn't make time for this sooner. Because the truth is, if you're watching a YouTube video right now, if you're scrolling on your phone, if you're on social media, you have time to make dating a priority. The truth is, you just don't want to. The things that are important to us, we always find a way to make time for. And if you think that dating is something that's important and you think it's going to be something that's important for you long term, make the time to fit it into your life now. It doesn't need to be the centerpiece. It doesn't need to take more than a couple hours per week. In fact, a lot of guys that we work with, typically it doesn't take longer than 5 to 10 hours per week of investment for them to get really, really good at this. And 5 to 10 hours per week, if you break that down, we say that 7 hours per week, that's 1 hour per day. If you only want to do 5 hours per week, let's say going on dates, messaging girls, getting some new photos, testing some new stuff out. In the same way, you can lose weight and make big strides in your health with only 45 minutes or an hour a day, 5 or 6 days a week. You can do the same type of progress in your dating life. You just have to make it a priority and say, I'm going to make the time for this because this is important to me. And a lot of successful men find themselves getting on the hamster wheel of, oh, well, I just need to finish this one project, and once this project is done, then I'll focus on it. But then as soon as you finish that project, the next project comes. There's a new thing coming. There's a shiny new object to pursue. Oh, now I have to focus on this in my business. Now this is fixed. Now I got to focus on the next thing. It's a never-ending cycle, hamster wheel that too many guys find themselves falling into, and it will cost you years of regret later down the line. And it's one of the biggest sources of regret for lots of older, successful guys that I've worked with. Resisting change. Because you're a successful and accomplished guy, you can use all of that success as armor to rationalize and cope over your lack of dating success. A lot of guys will say stuff like, oh, I'm not really dating the types of women I want, but at least I'm rich, I started a successful business, and I'm doing well. Or at least I'm fit, at least I'm in really good shape, and I'm really proud that I got in good shape, and I'm really proud that I made a lot of money. Well, we're not talking about your fitness right now, brother. We're not talking about your business right now. We're talking about your relationships. You wouldn't walk into a sushi restaurant and ask the chef about nachos. So when it comes time to confront the fact that you're not where you want to be in your relationships, don't default to trying to protect your ego and trying to protect your self-image. Instead, say, I'm not showing up the way I should be. Because the most common mistake I see guys make is they fucking cope. They'll say, I can't get the type of girlfriend I want, but at least I'm rich. What does that have to do with your dating skills? What does that have to do with your lack of a girlfriend? Again, it's just a rationalization. It's just bullshit to make yourself feel better. Because in the same way in your business, you wouldn't say, oh, well, I'm not making the type of income I want, or, oh, we didn't hit our goal this year, but at least I have a six-pack. What does that have to do with your goals? Your goals are your goals. You're either hitting them or you're not. Nobody gives a fuck about your excuses, even if your excuses are worthy and notable accomplishments somewhere else in your life, because again, it's somewhere else in your life, not in this area. Don't get trapped by sirens. They're these beautiful mythological womanly creatures that would lure men into their own demise. There will be women you'll encounter like this in your own dating life. The most common way men get lured in by sirens is that they simply choose to be with women who make them feel good in the short term but are incompatible with them in the long term. You may be with a woman who is a terrible candidate to be your wife because she doesn't have the same values as you, but because the sex is great, you'll keep her around for months or years longer than you should because you don't want to compromise on your sex. You don't want to lose it. You value it so much because you're not really getting it elsewhere, so you stick with a woman who's a bad fit for you and ultimately end up wasting both of your times. Guys will compromise on all sorts of things. They'll compromise on the type of relationship they want, how much their woman respects them, just because they found a girl who's super good looking and is hotter than most girls and they usually date. So they're like, fuck, even though this doesn't really fit what I want, it's not really ideal, I'm just gonna compromise and settle because I'm afraid I can't get something better. And this is the absolute worst position you can be in as a man. Being trapped, being lured by women who are the wrong fit for you, all because of their looks, sex, or any other short-term benefits or pleasure that you get from them. Because remember, now that you're already successful, any time you waste is infinitely more valuable, and any risk you expose yourself to is infinitely more consequential and infinitely more damaging to your life. So it's that much more important to make sure that this area of your life is a slam dunk and up to par with the rest of the areas of your life. And if you'd like to work with me and my team to get this area of your life handled for you in a way that's time efficient, in a way that allows you to still focus on your goals, and in a way that allows you to date quality and caliber of women that you deserve, that are truly worthy of the stature of man that you are, then tap the link below and apply to work with us. You'll see some of the results we've gotten for guys on screen. And if you're looking for a taste of what it's like to work with me and my team, then check out the blueprint we created in our free course, walking you through exactly how to get started on the path to building high quality relationships with girlfriend quality women right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.